Hey, 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 what's up, my good people? What's going on, YouTube? This is your girl Sislo with another newsworthy update. Well, today I'm just chiming in a little bit. Nothing in particular, I guess. Just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. One thing um, I wanted to chime in on situation with Rita, the baddest roaster. I can't, because that new name. Hey, sweetie. The new name that she has is way too long for a sister. Shout out to Miss Rita. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to fuck it up. I'm doing good, babe. How are you? I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Just jumping in today. Hi, mama. Y'all know you watching while you work. Listen, look at you. But if you want to join me, let me know and I'll send you what you call it. I don't even know how to do this. I gotta get as good as you. I gotta get as good as you, mama. With this that drop the link thing. But cause yeah, that's how you do it. But anyway, just chiming in on about the Rita situation with her daughter and all of the things that has been going on out in the YouTube community. I love you too, Mama. You at lunch to 1:30. Oh, well, you don't have long, do you, Mom? You got about what 30 minutes? Well, good. You got 30 minutes. You was in our emergency room. What? The what? Are you okay, sweetie? Well, Lord, we pray for Miss Hogg, Lord. And I pray, Father God, that you will bless her, touch her with your healing hands, bring her to her full capacity, Lord, in any way that, oh my goodness, any way that she needs healing, Lord. I pray that you will bless and regulate her heart and anything that is causing it to malfunction. Touch her, Lord God, heal her body, give her comfort, and let her have a wonderful day today. And let her know that you're with her. We thank you, Father, in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, I'm glad that you're home and not still in the emergency room. You gotta take care of yourself, sugar. It's only one you. It's only one you. We're gonna have to keep check on you, me and Miss Tanya. Well, so yeah, I wanted to chime in. We had an awesome show last night. If anybody didn't get the chance to watch the Hood Table with Miss Tanya last night, we kind of hit and quit on the situation with Rita and her daughter Lala. For those that do not know, Lala came home. I won't say that she was found because she wasn't lost. She came home, and Lala was doing what a 21-year-old Lala does, and out doing her. Um, what do I have to say about it? Do I think anybody was lying for money? Do I think it was a scam? Do I think it was just for clicks and views? Do I think it was all made up, rehearsed? I don't think any of those things. And if it were to be, that's between them and their God. I have nothing to do with that. What I don't think Rita knew about it, honestly. Her reactions were too genuine and too pure for me. It's not for me to go inside of her psyche and overanalyze anything It's not for me to analyze Lala with any types of mental illnesses. It's not for me to analyze the grandmother. It's not for me to analyze Bill. It's not for me to analyze the relationship. It's not for me to analyze anything. It is what it is. It was what it was. It did what it did. So there. Um, as far as other people, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for agreeing. As far as all the other people that are going all in on Rita, all in on her mother, all in on Lala, to be perfectly honest, if you want to be honest, they are no better than they are claiming that she is or that she was. Because they are doing the exact same thing, which is reporting on it for clicks and views, especially analyzing the situation to the point they want to break down timelines and all. It is so funny to me how people can break down every little minute facility of your life, but can't keep their own stuff together. That is so crazy. It's crazy. It's always been crazy to me how people can tell you what you really thinking and what you really mean and what you really meant and what you really did. When it's only one you. I don't care if you had a identical twin with the same similar DNA. There's one strand of DNA or RNA or something in that makes you different from your twin. So it's like, I don't care. You're not the same. You cannot tell me what I am thinking. The movie with Will Smith, the Gemini movie, when he was battling himself at a younger age or something like that, a reincarnated version of himself, a computer version or whatever it was of himself. Um, Even that, they had two different ways of thinking. Will Smith was trying to do right. The other guy was just trying to kill him for whatever reason. He was programmed different. If you haven't seen Bad Boys for Life and you find out that at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the end of the movie and you find out that the guy that was trying to kill, that attempted to kill Will Smith was actually his son, his his biological son in the movie, not Jaden or Trey, but his biological son in the movie. Um, Even they were both gifted in the same type of ways. They had the same type of impact and all of that, but they thought differently. So it doesn't matter who you are and where you come from. Everybody don't think the same. So there's absolutely no way you can go and analyze what that woman was thinking, what how she really felt, how was it was just overdoing it. It's too much. It's not my business. I'm praying for her. I pray that her and her family are doing well. You're right, Miss Hall, by saying that everybody is always trying to judge others. It is crazy, and everybody was created unique. Everybody is different. There are no two strands of hair the same. Everybody is created differently. So I think it's just a bit redundant. Um, I think that the bottom of it is people love mess. People love mess. People love drama. You know what I'm saying? We all do. We all do, myself included. Because if I did not like drama, I wouldn't watch The Real Housewives or um, um, Love and Hip Hop and all these different, or even a movie, Have and Have Nots and P Valley, which Miss Tanya turned me on to. We wouldn't watch these things if we were not attracted to drama. But one thing that's different about the TV and this is our real lives. This is people's real lives here. You going in somebody's home and dissecting their home. Guilty pleasure. You're going in somebody's home and you are dissecting it and you are tearing it apart for guilty pleasure. But when you get to the point to where you are like tearing families apart, I have seen families be destroyed on YouTube, in front of YouTube. I have seen families destroyed. I have seen families destroyed. We had to witness Jay Wilson put on the facade in so many ways to make everybody think that he had his significant other had broken up, just so that man could get away and have some personal life of his own. Jay Wilson had to step back a little bit because of all the foolishness that was going on. And it was, affecting his relationship, or it was potentially affecting his relationship. So, it's just too much. I think people really go overboard with it. And each one of these people that felt like they were justified in going into other people's business would not like it if the tables were turned. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know this. I don't know a lot of these people, and to be perfectly honest, I stopped watching them. It doesn't even pop up on my timeline anymore. It doesn't even pop up on my timeline anymore. When they come on, I get no notifications. I stop subscribing, all of that, because if this is your character, if this is the type of person that you are, I don't want no parts of you, because guess what? I have a good relationship with Miss Tanya. We can talk about anything. If I feel like there's anything that may threaten our friendship, I go to her. I talk to her about it personally, not on YouTube. We discuss it on personally, because that's the relationship we have. I am not going to air her personal business. She's not going to air mine. We talk. I have other people that I met on YouTube that I still have, or on social media, that I still have relationship with. I still, not one time can they come back and tell you that I burned any bridges with any of them. Not one time. And some of them have been a great blessing to my life. You understand? Some of them have been a blessing to my social media platforms. Some of them have been a blessing to me in my personal life. You understand? And but I've never taken advantage of anyone, and I don't. They cannot. None of the people, nobody. You can go on here and that I have a relationship and say that I have personally taken advantage of any of them in any type of way. If I've gotten anything from anyone, it was used for what it was given for. From a birthday to a love token, to a just because, to whatever. It was used for whatever. And that's the way that I am. And when I release it from my hands to yours, it is what it is. Every month I subscribe to certain channels, not many of them, but I subscribe to a few. And when I subscribe to those channels, it comes right directly out of my pay, or whatever the case may be, because I believe in them. I believe in them. And that's it. There is absolutely no turn of events. There is no coin. There is no dollar amount that can make me betray any of the people that I care for. That can make me betray. Now, when it comes to reporting something or recording, I record the news, I record the updates. Somebody died, or somebody this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 which I have an update coming for that. I will speak on it. But if Tanya don't tell me to come out and say, Sislo, I'm baking a strawberry shortcake cake today. I'm gonna drop it in the mail to you, and I'm going to send it to you directly. Now, it's not the fact that I can bake my own cake. I want hers. You understand me? Just throw that in there. But ain't no way I want to get on here and tell everybody what she said unless she says it's okay. I don't mind. That's the only way we could. That's how we communicate. We have dialogue off the screen. If there's something that I share care to share with her, we share it off the screen. Now, I don't ever believe that Tanya will betray my trust. But if she should, that's between Tanya and God. I don't have nothing to do. I'm not still not gonna get on here and disparage her. That's just not right. It's just so that's what I gotta say about that whole Rita yeah, you got that? Yeah. But that's all I gotta say about that. I just pray that they get the help that they need. I pray that because there's a lot of family hurt. They need a I'm not even gonna say Ayala Vanzant or something like. They need personal behind the scenes when the doors close. Let's battle it out. Help. That's what they need. Not a Dr. Sherry, not a Dr. Jeff, not a Dr. Phil, not a Ayana. They need help. And that's into healing for whatever. I ain't knocking nobody for nothing. They just need help. And that's that. I believe in loyalty when it comes. I believe in loyalty when it comes to free. Absolutely. Absolutely. This always shows up at Blocksman's Hall. Yes, real therapy. Absolutely. They need real therapy. For sure. But I'm gonna move on from that. I just pray that they get the help that they need. And I'll continue to pray, for all the parties involved, the whole entire family, because there definitely needs to be some healing where they are concerned. So next, I'm going to go on to something a little bit sad, um, and that is that um, actor, musician, Academy Award winning Jamie Foxx lost his little sister, Deandra, who was 36 years old, and she also suffered. Well, she didn't suffer. She was born with Down syndrome, but baby, she did not suffer. If you have ever seen Deandra in anything, she was in his blame it on the alcohol, blame it on the rock, blame it on the Henny. Yeah, that was it. She was dancing in his video. Now, for her to have been born with Down syndrome, she didn't let nothing hold her down. She didn't let anything hold her down. She that young lady lived bigger than any person that was born without any genetic effects. She lived life in a big way. She danced on stage at the Grammys with him. He took her everywhere. He was not ashamed of his sister. When she had a big birthday party. They had a big birthday party for Jamie a few years ago. And honey, she was up in the VIP section breaking it down. And she could really dance. She was a little chunky, but baby, she could get down. She could do the best of it. And one thing, she was in love with Chris Brown. She said one day I'm going her. If you go on to the website for, I think it's the National Down Syndrome's website. She was the ambassador for them, and under her little biography, the little thing she wrote about herself. I like dancing, this, that, and the other. My big brother Jamie takes me places I've never been before. I love him. I tell him every day that I love him. And one day I want to have kids and get married. And I'm going to marry Chris Brown because he's my man. She loved Chris Brown. So we want to just give a shout out because I know that Jamie loved his baby sister. He took excellent care of her. He really his post on social media was released on Monday when he announced her passing, and he said his heart is broken to a million pieces, and he has a big hole in his heart that only the memories and the love that she gave him can feel. And I can imagine because she was a life ball. She was just a big fireball of life. And at 36 years old. She passed away um, this past Monday. So yeah, we want to. Yeah, let's do that. Let's give a moment of silence for um, Jamie Foxx and his family in the spirit of his beautiful sister DeAndre. Amen. So we want you all to go over to Jamie Foxx's Instagram and send him a love note, and just know that you're thinking about him and his family in the time of the loss of his baby sister DeAndre. Hey, Miss Melissa King, I'm glad you were able to catch me live, world. And as you see, I'm live. I'm really live. It's really me. Can you see my avatar? It's really me. It's really me. So yeah, and then in other news, we're gonna go over to Wendy Williams and DJ Booth. Okay. So what had happened was apparently the show that Wendy did the other day showed her a little bit incoherent, just a wee bit. So from the from the looks of it, she seems to be maybe from what they think intoxicated or under the influence or something of that nature. Now, well, I gotta admit, okay, drunk. Miss Hogg said, "Stop playing with words, Sislo." She was drunk. All right, Mama, you said it. It was medicated, medicated, self-medicated. All right. She was okay. Everybody on the show get tipsy. Everybody on the show get tipsy. So what had happened was, and one of the part of the show, I guess that euphoria started to rise a little teeny bit. That euphoria started to rise a little bit. She said, "Ooh boy." Whitney was like, "Ooh boy." She was feeling that man. That little buzz kicked in. Allegedly. Allegedly. So that little buzz kicked in. And I think they're this. I'm sorry, guys. Somebody's at the door. Hang on. I gotta keep my daughter off the internet every day. Oh, it's Auntie Sherry. Auntie Sherry, I didn't know you was coming back. Get that box. I thought she was going to vote. I just came back to look for you. I told you. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Okay. So, I forgot what I was saying, y'all. Okay, wait. So anyway, yeah, allegedly. So let me put that up there, Miss Hawk. So allegedly, she was under the influence, and she was feeling no pain because she was like, when that buzz hit her, and she kind of like, ooh yeah. I know what she said. Ooh boy, she felt that little buzz hit her. She sat back in that chair, and then she started talking about Rick Ross or something, and all of a sudden she went from one extreme to another. But it was like she was dazed. She was like gazed out, and she couldn't catch her thoughts. And when she would catch her thoughts, then she would start. Then all of a sudden she just said, "Oh, mm-mm. Nah." She knows what I do, Miss Hart. We're good. She she knows what I do. We're good. So um that made me forget. Anyway, she stopped talking about whatever it was that she was talking about with Rick Ross, and she just said, just all of a sudden started saying something about the shoe cam music. Well, it just sounds like some little fairy music, some little chimes or something. It's really not that big of a deal. But I forgot the new DJ's name. I forgot her new DJ's name. He's kind of cute though. Got that big prominent man nose, big bald head, a beard thing going on. I can't think of his name, but he kept playing the music, and then they put the shoe camera on his shoe. But he started striking different. She started striking different. Girl, it was a hot mess. She was really messed up, right? She was like out of it. So they kept putting the shoe cam on, and he kept striking the music. He was trying to play it off, but all of a sudden she went out, and Suzanne was like, "Uh oh!" Now, Suzanne usually is the yes man for Wendy. So whatever Wendy says and whatever Wendy does, Suzanne is the one that, yep, yep, right, right, right. There was none of that. It was like dead air, dead space. So Suzanne should have been jumping it in and playing it off to get her back on track. That's what a producer's supposed to do. Girl, Suzanne is three kinds of crazy, ma. She's cuckoo crazy. And she is annoying because she says yes, yup, 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 yup to stuff that doesn't even make sense. I'm like, girl, shut up. So Suzanne should have been, while she was producing that show, she should have been popped out. The second thing was they have the ability to pull a line, delay it, and then she should have been able to retake and release that with some better pieces, not with the pieces that they released. They should have been able to pull that live, bounce it to something else. It could have been anything. And then they could have come back and edited in the parts that she was going to be doing up, give her time to recollect herself. They could have cut to a commercial. They could have somebody should have been like Wendy. Bring it back, bring it in, because she was way too out there. So now it brings DJ Booth to say that this is what I've been talking about. Like, this is just what I've been saying. And I got ridiculed because I said, now, he didn't say anything in particular. He just said things to lead to make you think. Like, he said nothing in particular, but you kind of got to read between the lines and make your own ending kind of thing. But when he said that I could no longer sit around and get ridiculed or not say anything and just let things happen. And because they had a really good relationship. Wendy and DJ Booth had a really, really good relationship. And I do believe that DJ Booth was pulling her card like, girl, you are on air doing some major flops. You're going to have to get yourself together because I love you, babe. Have a good day, Miss Hogg, okay? And you feel better. You feel better. And you have a great day also. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like on your way out. So I think that DJ Booth and Wendy, they had a good enough relationship, so he thought that he was pulling her card, saying, "Look, you're making a lot of, like when she almost passed out that Halloween with the what she have on, the Statue of Liberty outfit thing, and she fell out or whatever." And then a lot, now she can blame it on Graves' disease, but I know a lot of people with Graves' disease, boo, and I'm a medical professional by trade, so I know that if you having a bad day, boo, just take your time and sit down. When sometimes that medicine can affect you in certain kind of ways, but not like you have, not like that, not quite like that. So you can't blame it on that. She has a responsibility to her public, especially since she's out blasting so many people and putting so many people's lives out on the front. She has a responsibility to to her viewers to get them something good. Well, that was good to, for the people that don't like her, because it's all over the internet and it's just making her trend. But personally, she needs to get help. So I believe DJ Booth probably pulled her whole card. I believe he probably pulled her whole card and said, "Look, sis, this ain't a good look. You need to get some help because your private life is starting to affect your public life, and I am affiliated with it, which he is, and we're good friends. If people see us out together, hanging out at the bar or at the out to eat or something like that, which they often did, if they see us hanging out, they might think I'm doing or supplying you with stuff. I can't have that. I can't have that on my record because DJ Boo travels with Beyonce and all. I mean, he travels with quite a few big name people doing his DJing. So they it struck a bad chord with her. They got into it, and that was the end of it. If you remember, he was gone for a really long time before she announced that he wasn't coming back, and this new DJ came. I cannot think of his name for the life of me, but he left. He left. He was gone for a long time. So now he's saying it's going to come to light at some point. But and when he said that the people that are victims or the workers and this and that, I don't really believe that he is saying that it's going to affect them as far as Wendy lashing out or her firing people or anything like that. But I mean, if this causes the Wendy Williams show as a whole to shut down and everybody lose their jobs because of that, because of her, if she has a substance problem or whatever, and it causes people to just pull a plug on the Wendy show, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. Kind of like the situation with the Nick Cannon and Wild and Out. When he said what he said and he refused to apologize because he felt like he was speaking his truth or whatever. Viacom pulled the plug on Wild and Out. 200 people lost their jobs. All of the comedians from their testimonies, it was not just the comedians, the people that start on the show. They were talking about, like, from the receptionists to the rope holders to the light camera people. Everybody lost their jobs. Everybody, over 200 people lost their jobs. So a lot of time, and one thing that people don't know, because I know I have family that are in radio, television, and communications and broadcasting. That job is a reputation based job, so anything can get you fired. I've known a local radio personality to have lost her job because her daughter said she slapped her. She lost her job, Frankie Darcell. I've known other ones who have had issues because of a rumor and they lost their job. It's a reputation based job. You being a TV personality right now, you can say the wrong thing, and at this point in society, that could be anything. That could be anything. If you say I don't like Crest, I use Colgate, that can cause you to lose sponsors. It can cause you to lose this, that, and the other. And then if Procter and Gamble decides that we're gonna pull all our ads from off the whole network, then the network get upset, pull the plug, everybody on. So it can you can say anything these days and get in trouble for it. So with her reputation, with past substance abuse and the actions that people have been seeing lately, it's not a surprise that yeah, this could come to an end. And I can't blame DJ Boo for picking up his DJ equipment and going to the left. So I can't blame that. So that was that. I don't know if you guys, got something to say or you got a thought on it. You can let me know. Make sure you don't forget to like, guys. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Click the notification bell. and support. I'm trying to think it was something else we were going to talk about. Oh Lord, I know. Oh, this confirmation for Amy from Indiana. That's what I'm called. I don't even know the woman's name. I don't even care. But the Republicans slick rided their way on in and got this woman confirmed. They did a rush job. And for those who don't know, that 7 days, 1 week after the election, they have a date in the Supreme Court, and it's going to be on the floor that they're going to abolish Obamacare. They already have it set. This is his one of his main agendas. Now, let me tell y'all what else. Do you all know that Agent Orange number 45, your president, has also signed an executive order that will allow him to purge all disloyal workers in the government? You know what that means? That means he can fire anyone he wants to and replace them with everyone he wants. Which means that this will no longer be a presidential seat, it will be a dictatorship because he will be able to control the government because everybody in the government. Now, have you ever heard of such a thing? This man signed an executive order to allow him, look it up, to purge the government employees, to fire all those employees that have been disloyal, and replace them all with his pick. It's going to be a sad day in America on November the 3rd if this man is reelected. Now, I can't tell anybody who to vote for, but I want you all to not ignore the red flags. Not only that, this man supports white supremacy, militia, and he don't forget what he told them to stand down and stand by. Now, that doesn't just necessarily mean if he loses. It also means once he wins. So now, do you have to be in fear of your transporting your children and your family members from church to home, being closed in and boxed in by white supremacists and being attacked and shot? They're having different shootings on different freeways. The young lady, and you can look this up also. TMZ had the story. The Mexican or the Hispanic American young lady that donated a kidney to Selena Gomez was just victimized by white supremacists about 2 weeks ago. They boxed her in, wouldn't let her out. They were yelling at her, taunting her, bamming on her car windows. She was terrified. The only reason why her story probably made it is because she was recognized as being the young lady that donated a kidney to save Selena Gomez's life. This is not happening. What people got to understand, they don't just dislike black people. They just dislike anybody that ain't blue eye, and blonde hair. Not really understanding that every one of them got a little black in them a little bit somewhere. Because if you study the evolution of man, it all comes down to the black man. We all got black in us. Everybody. Asians, Alaskans, Africans, Europeans, Egyptians. They're all Hispanics. Why do you think that even the Indians? Why do you think that some Indians are darker than us? Some Latinas have afros and woolly hair. Some of them are black Latinas and what have you, because everybody, we're all mixed. You can't get around it. So when they say they hate us, they actually saying they hate themselves. So I'm thinking, since you hate yourself, start with yourself. Kill yourself. That's the way I feel. That's what I'm thinking. But at any rate, you got to be careful. You got to know what you're voting for. If your lot is that you are a Christian and the Republican Party represents Christianity and they talk against abortion and things of that nature, you think to yourself, I want you to realize that just because they are anti-abortion does not mean that they are pro-life. And that's the truth. Just because they represent anti-abortion does not mean that they represent pro-life. Because if they did, stopping you from aborting a baby that they gonna kill in the middle of the street a little bit later on don't mean nothing. They want to control whether you have a baby or not. And then later on in life, they're gonna pull your black baby out of a car and stomp them or shoot them to death. Just because you're anti-abortion does not mean you pro-life. Period. So they need to stop saying that that's the reason why they support the Republican Party. Yes, it might have started out one way, but for this man to stand up and say, I've done more for blacks than Abraham Lincoln. Man, stop. Stop it. Are you saying you ought to be assassinated too? Because that's what happened to Abraham Lincoln. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But he got to meet Jesus. He got to meet God and answer for his wretched heart. Because he is not right. He's not right. For him to have mass, he's even trying to find a way to fire Dr. Fauci. He refuses to listen to medical advice. He refuses to listen to say the only medical advice he took was when he had the coronavirus and they gave him antibodies to fight it. But of course, he is the leader of the free world and he's a multi-billionaire. He can afford that type of treatment. But after November 10th, if he's reelected, you won't be able to. Not only will you not be able to, but anybody with pre-existing illnesses will not be able to get any insurance coverage. That means diabetes, asthma, high blood pressure, cancer. Whatever it is, if you had any pre-existing illnesses, you shot. And why is he doing that? Why is he abolishing Obamacare? Because Obama put it in effect. Period. Any person that feels like he shouldn't support a Democratic ran state because a Democrat person runs it, governor runs it, or governs it, is ill. Because just as you have Democrats in the state of Michigan, you also have Republicans. So you saying you're going to ignore your own people? You're going to denounce your own people because you're too ignorant to realize that there are just as many Republicans' lives that mean as much as there are Democrats. We don't bleed blue and red. Everybody bleed red. It's ignorant. It's absolutely okay. So I'm off my soapbox. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. So that's it. I can't think of anything else. We talked about this. That we talked about Jamie Foxx, losing his little sister. We talked about Wendy being allegedly under the influence, and we talked about your president. And I don't know what to say about the stimulus package when I finally get a word that is passed and what it consists of. I'll let you guys know. But until then, I'm just gonna watch like you because it's really beginning to drive me crazy. And let me say a little bit of even about that. Don't be hard on Nancy Pelosi because of the way she's dealing with it. I actually commend her for how she's dealing with it, simply because with the tricks that the Republicans use, she has to make sure that the verbiage is right in that stimulus plan. She has to be right. Because if she says, oh, okay, well, they're going to pass this $1.9 trillion stimulus package, everybody could get $1,200, and all the kids get $500, and we're going to enhance the unemployment. We're going to send assistance to this and that. We're going to do all this. Okay, and she signs on the dotted line. But once she signs on the dotted line and it goes and it's passed in the House and the Senate votes on it and it goes through, and then the day it comes out and it becomes law, and then you find out that everybody is getting $1,200 except uh, people that didn't make enough, or everybody's getting $500 a kid except those who are getting public assistance, or everybody is going to get enhanced unemployment except, and then you're going to be upset because you were not included in that number because of that little clause in there that says, with the exception of, or the words got twisted. And so now you are excluded from getting that. That is the reason why it's so important for the verbiage to be right. If you know anything about writing policy and procedure or contracts or anything like that, you have to make sure all of the wording is correct and that no good lawyer can go in and twist your words and make it out what it appears to be. And then you have a Supreme Court that's majority ruled by the Republicans that's going to vote in favor of what these twisted lawyers did and tie it up, and you still don't get the help that you've been waiting for all this long. So yeah, let her do what she got to do. She knows what she's doing. The other thing is let us hope that the Democrats get their wish and extend the Supreme Court, which means they can add more people. And then they will then, once Joe Biden wins, prayerfully, and Kamala Harris, that we will be able to put more Democrats to weigh it out evenly to make it a even and not a dominated situation for the rest of our lives. Because this woman is young. It's not until the next Supreme Court justice drops dead that a seat is going to be available. These are like, unless they decide to retire, like Thurgood Marshall and people like that. And I remember when Thurgood Marshall retired, and people were asking him, "Well, Mr. Marshall, why are you retiring? You know, you were in the seat until the day you died." What he said, "Because I'm old and falling apart." I would never forget that. And when his seat was empty, it was being filled. But those are lifetime positions. This is a young woman. Unless she's taken out by coronavirus or cancer or something like that, she's not going anywhere. The other thing is this man has 13 people in his camp that has come down with coronavirus. Mike Pence had 5, and he had, I think it was 8 or 9 on the plane with him, including some journalists and everybody else. Now it has been recommended for him to quarantine for the next 2 weeks. Do you think he's going to do it? Do you think he's going to do it? Because he feels invincible. And he is making other people feel the same way. Chris Christie even said, I messed up. Because Chris Christie really got sick. Chris Christie don't have Donald Trump money. He got money, but he don't have Donald Trump money. And this man is just totally oblivious, belligerent, uncouth. I just can't say more. He's not charismatic. He's not presidential-like. He just doesn't represent well. And he creates social divide, civil unrest, and racial uproar. Why? Why? How could we sit for another 4 years? He has done so much to destroy the morale of the United States of America in the last 4 years than any president in my 54 years of living. And I've lived from Kennedy to now. I've never seen it. Not even Ronald Reagan. Not even, I'm not a crook, Mr. Nixon. Not Jimmy Carter. Not either of the Bushes or the Clinton administration. I've lived through all of these administrations. And I've never seen it. So I want you all to think about those things. Pray about it. Make sure you vote. Cast your vote. Contact your governors. Contact your senators. See, because that's where those electoral votes, that's what he won. Because Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. She lost the electoral votes, which was a scam. So let's hope and pray that he wins all the battleground states. Michigan, California, Florida, Georgia. That he wins all those ones with those high electoral votes so he can get in there. And we're going to pray that he makes a change. And if he doesn't do his job, then in 4 years he'll be out too. So we're going to pray, cast your vote, make your voice heard, help people get to the polls. Do what you got to do. Take the day off. Drive some people to the polls or call them now and help them get their ballots in. Help them get to do the early vote or whatever it is. Help them get to the polls. Make sure your voices are heard. Call your governor, your Senate. Let them know that you help get them there. You help get them out. Vote your heart. And I hope to see you guys soon. And let's pray now that for a positive change. We need good. We need good. Well, first of all, we need this COVID situation under control. This man does not care about the poor people of this society because the poor people are the ones that cannot afford to stay alive with this COVID thing. And if he has his way after November 10th, and these people that are paying for this marketplace insurance or the Obamacare, for them to not have any coverage, because he keeps saying, oh, I got a plan, but he never unveils it. I'll do it after. No, he doesn't have one. He just don't want that one. So all of these people who will come up, the next thing you know, only the people with corporate insurances are going to be the ones getting ventilators. And you're going to find your coworker, your family saying, we got to bury so-and-so and so-and-so because they didn't qualify for a ventilator. It's going to come to that. I'm going to bring a medical professional on. I'm not going to say her name, but I want you all to hear her testimony. She's an emergency room nurse. She's a care manager. And I want you all to hear her testimony on how they were trying to find ways to put two people on one ventilator to save lives. Two people on one ventilator to save because Trump refused to give the ventilators to Michigan because he don't like the governor. Because we couldn't get PPE equipment. How my niece, who's a nurse, had to share her PPE equipment with a doctor to go in because somebody's mama coded. Y'all think about this stuff. It's for real. And you can't just sleep it away and wake up and it's over. When you go to sleep tonight, you wake up, somebody next to you could be gone. You got to think about it. I'm gone for now. I love you on purpose. Ain't nothing you can do about it. And you know, I never say goodbye because goodbye is way too permanent. I'll say later for now. Come back and talk to me a little bit later. Please share this video. Like, subscribe, and support. And I thank you for dropping in. It's your girl Sislo. I'm out.